Alrighty, welcome back everyone. We just talked about some of the overreactions I had from the spring with the ACC. We got into Clemson, Miami, Georgia Tech, and Louisville, and we'll get into some more as the week goes on. But let's get to a Good Vibes Monday, and let's talk about the College Football 25 full reveal reaction. There was a ton of stuff that came out from this last Friday. We barely missed it. It all came out around 11 a.m. We went off air right around 10, so definitely not the ideal timing for all of that, but still tons to break down. And the trailer is obviously where we want to start. We had a ton of really, really cool things in this. We had some of the biggest players in the game, prominently featured in this game. We had Quinn Ewers, Travis Hunter, obviously the two cover athletes that are definitely going to be a big part of the marketing of this game, right front and center in this one. And every time I see more and more from this game, it seems more and more like they're not cutting corners. Like they're not using, everything that they've had in their bag in the past to influence this upcoming game. It feels like they're putting everything they possibly can into making this game unique or different in some way. And obviously, there's still quite a ways to go to figure out if that's actually the case, but definitely feels really good. You saw some of the great things. You saw pregame traditions. You saw all the fans going crazy. Some of the great things that make college football special. But first of all, I just want to start with the graphics are just remarkable. There have been a number of incredible pictures that have come out. Obviously, it's a little bit easier to do when you're dealing with a video or you're dealing with a picture than real live gameplay, but it seems like it's going to be very, very visually appealing along with being an awesome product on the field. But the trailer had tons of Michigan and Alabama and Texas and all of the big guys, as you can assume, but also had some Wyoming, had some smaller schools in there that we definitely love to see. Absolutely will be the teams that most people I find are going to be using their dynasty mode. But one team that got a little bit disrespected, I guess you could say, is Ohio State for whatever reason. They were definitely very upset on Twitter over the weekend, and when I first saw it, I thought it was a little bit ridiculous. It was a video of Donovan Edwards just stiff-arming one of those guys into the earth, which is definitely not ideal by any means, but I thought it was a little bit overreaction. And then I saw another clip from the trailer, which was Illinois holding up the Illabuck Trophy, which, if you're not familiar, is the trophy that is given out between Illinois and Ohio State every year. Illinois hasn't won that trophy in 17 years. So I don't know what's going on over at EA. I don't know if Connor Stallions is in the building somewhere and making decisions about this game, but Ohio State kind of got a little bit disrespected. I won't lie. I'm not necessarily a big-time Ohio State guy, but even I can say that was a little bit aggressive towards the Buckeyes in that one. But let's break down some other things that came out because of this. And one of the biggest things is the game modes. It's something that, we remember so fondly over 11 years ago now. That's just insane to think about. But Dynasty mode is obviously one we all remember. You create a coach, you pick one of the 134 FBS teams, get a coaching staff, and keep moving from there. You get recruiting from high school prospects to transfer portal all at the same time, which would be very, very cool. There's also a different thing where you can create a new school and do a team builder, which is something I'm definitely going to do. If you have any ideas for team names or school names in the comments here, that'd be great. I know Josh Pate over there has Pate State, would love to get something going over here. And then you have Online Dynasty mode, which will give you 32 players. So essentially you can get 32 of your best friends. All of you pick a different team and you can play each other throughout the year. And that's something that I absolutely will be doing. If I can scrounge up 32 people to do it with me, I absolutely will be taking advantage of that because would love to have some bragging rights over my friends. There's no two ways about that. But then let's talk about Road to Glory. This, to me, was my favorite in the original iteration. I absolutely loved creating players and going through high school and then college and hopefully winning a Heisman at the end of it all and a national title. So it's definitely something that I will be playing almost immediately. You create a player, you go through their college career, manage their weekly schedule, GPA, playing time, more, all of that, and you can enter the portal in this cycle. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that works. Maybe some people will utilize that the way that some other people have recently and flip-flop all over the place. Maybe some people will stay true, who knows. But at the end of the day, that'll be a very interesting thing. We also have Road to College Football Playoff, which is something that has not been in place in the past, but it seems to be just one normal season. You pick a team and you try to make it to the college football playoff. I think this is obviously new to the this version because of the playoff becoming a thing, but it seems to be pretty straightforward. It's like any other, single season play mode that we've had in the past, I think. And then Ultimate Team, one that has made people very mad, which I did not know made people so mad, but it's creating a team with your favorite or best players in college football, much like the Madden way of things. You can do in-game purchases to get more tokens, to get better players, to upgrade your players, whatever that looks like. So definitely a very, very interesting and something that I've never really dabbled in with Madden or any of the other FIFA or any of the other Ultimate Team options out there, but definitely a really interesting thing, and I'll probably mess around with it, but probably won't get too interested. I'm going to spend a lot of my time on that Dynasty mode and that Road to Glory mode, getting UNLV back to the top, but and then let's get into some gameplay that has gotten released over the last couple of days that is very, very interesting. And the biggest one to me is the wear and tear factor. Player ratings will kind of change as the hits start to add up. So you'll lose some of the ability, some of the speed, you'll lose what, players lose throughout the game, which is something that will be very interesting. You have to manage your roster's health, limit fatigue, do substitutions, things of that nature to just make sure that your team gets through a game, gets through a season. It'll definitely make those dynasty leagues very, very interesting, that's for sure. And then you have pre-snap recognition. This is something that has been in place in Madden for a good bit, but you'll be able to audible, read the game, make the right decisions, see kind of, maybe a safety's rolling down into the box and you see that it's going to be cover 3 and you have the ability to get a crosser underneath or whatever it looks like. It'll definitely be really, really interesting to see how that goes, and will probably be what separates the men from the boys in this game, to be totally honest with you. And then you have home field advantage, which is going to be very, very interesting. Something that I think they've tried to do in the past with these games, but it just never quite hit the same way that it should, and they're going to try to make it work in this one. Depending on the quality of the crowd, the game, players could encounter distractions like the screen shaking, which is one I'm sure we're all familiar with. Missing play icons, so not knowing who is who in terms of who you're passing to, and then the play art could be moving as well. So maybe you have a post route over the middle of the field that looks like it's on the absolute outside of the field. Maybe it's a ton of different things that could happen with that. So would be a very cool thing if they can execute that the right way and definitely add an advantage to the home field. I think it'd be a really cool thing and would add to kind of the difficulty of this game, which obviously, you want to be a little bit straightforward, but you also want some authenticity from it, which would be, it's going to be really, really cool to watch that unfold. We did get confirmation that is going to be full ESPN broadcasters across the board. Chris Fowler and Kirk Herbstreit will be there for the big games, but then we'll have Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, David Pollock for some other games. I think there's rumors of some other smaller ESPN people being involved, but I haven't heard anything that is substantiated on that yet. But we're less than 2 months away from this game coming out officially. Just got to hold on a little bit longer. Just got to wade water for just a little bit longer while we wait for this thing. More details will start to come out. We'll do some more segments of who I think might be 99, who I'm most excited to play with. Actually, that might be our Top 10 Tuesday tomorrow, if I'm being totally honest. So we'll do tons of content around this thing until it comes out, and then once it does, maybe you'll see me doing a little Dynasty mode and cutting up some highlights for you guys on Monday mornings, who knows. But it's going to be awesome. This is a game that I have waited for quite some time. I grew up during the heyday of this game, and it went away right when I was really, really getting fully into it, and just cannot wait to have it back. I cannot emphasize that enough. I spent hours and hours and hours playing this game, and I will go right back to that way of things right when this comes out. My 14-year-old self cannot wait for this moment, so very, very excited. I'm sure all of you are as well, but we'll break down all the updates as they come, and we'll get you guys as excited as I am for this upcoming game. But that'll do it for this edition of the GSMC College Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show, leave a positive review. It does make a huge difference for us. Also, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, all of the social pages for all of the content and updates you could possibly need. We have people covering every sport you could think of. We have basketball, football, baseball. We also have women's sports. We have wrestling. We have golf and hockey. It's just everything you could possibly need in the world of sports. We have it covered over here at GSMC. So please come on over and visit us whenever you need anything. But thank you once again for listening, and I will see you guys tomorrow.